The stock market is currently just 1.6% away from all-time highs, yet the MAG7, which essentially carried the markets, are quietly falling apart, with one of the largest ones being down over 30% since its previous highs. So if the stock market is essentially doing so well, then what is happening to the biggest companies in the world? Why are they doing so poorly? Is this the end of the MAG7, or is this the greatest buying opportunity? Let's get into it. So we have to get into the numbers to understand everything. So let's talk through the MAG7. Let's see what their current situation is. So for starters, Nvidia is down over 12% since its all-time highs. Google is down over 10%. Apple down 7%. Microsoft, which is actually one of the bigger hits, is down over 33%. It's had like over almost close to a month now of consecutive red days in a row. Amazon down 14%. Meta an astounding 27%, almost 28%, and Tesla a 21% drop from all-time high. So altogether, they are getting hit pretty hard here. And the markets are like 1% away from all-time highs. So the correlation is just not there. So what exactly is happening? So first of all, we have to address the elephant in the room. Obviously, Warsh, as the new Fed chair, recently announced the rates are remaining the same, and the markets right away did not like that, and I think that is going to be a huge factor. I think people look at the MAG7 as a kind of longer term play, and what Warsh essentially said is not that bullish. Sure, it was expected, but it is still just not bullish, right? Warsh essentially said that he's keeping the rates unchanged. So why exactly does this matter for the MAG7? Well, these stocks are just priced based on future growth, right? Think about, Nvidia, Amazon, Microsoft. People don't invest into them, based on what they think they're going to earn like right now or in a week from now, right? They're just buying based on what they think they're going to earn in, 5-10 years, however many years down the road. And when rates stay higher, obviously those future profits become less valuable in today's dollars. And he didn't even raise the rates, right? It could have been way worse. He just pretty much refused to cut them. He basically just said that inflation is still a problem and that do not assume any rate cuts are guaranteed in the future, which is sure kind of normal, but it's seen as a little bit bearish, and we saw that with the markets. And you got to think about the MAG7. Their valuations obviously are built on these enormous future growth expectations, right? And if the higher rates stay, well, the investors obviously start asking, am I willing to genuinely pay freaking 30, 40, 50x earnings for growth that, might happen years from now? And that's why I feel like this is one of the bigger reasons why we have seen a sector rotation, right? Obviously, you have this AI boom right now. I think it's easily sucking the money out of these MAG7s into the AI, into semi plays, into memory plays. You could look at any of the memory plays right now, SanDisk, Marvel, MU, any play right now that you could think of, and they have essentially 3x, 4x in just this last year alone. And the crazy part is all of this money is coming from the MAG7, okay? If the MAG7 were to decide tomorrow that they're cutting AI spending, like all of them, then these stocks would drop 50%, okay? Like easily. Now, let's be real here for a second. Would you right now rather buy Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, whatever, and have it trade sideways for like a year, potentially, maybe even on the downside? Or would you rather buy SanDisk, Marvel, MU, any memory stock, and have it go 2 to 3x? Be honest, which one would you rather do? Because that's essentially what's happening right now. I feel like the money is just moving somewhere else. And another reason why, the MAG7 is not doing as good is, well, obviously the profits are just not there. These companies are spending billions and billions of dollars into AI, and people feel like, where's the money, right? You're spending so much money. Microsoft is spending more than half of their revenue into AI, and the money is just not there. Their stock shows for it. It's down over 33% in under a year. It's as simple as this, really. Why invest into the MAG7 right now when they're spending so much money on AI that they're just purely investing right now. It's going to be more investing than profits. So what's the point of getting into the stock, at least for the shorter term? And I think the biggest reason is that I think the MAG7 was just a little bit overextended. It was overvaluated, simply just too expensive. And we have pretty much seen that this past year with the MAG7, as they have all taken a pretty decent hit. And you could tell, I mean, these earnings, all of these companies, I wouldn't say they crushed earnings, but they did well. All of the MAG7 recent earnings did well, and they almost all of them took a pretty big hit after earnings. I think people are just, their expectations are so high that it just cannot be met right now, even though they have all really strong earnings. And on top of that, we're on phase 2 of this AI hype. I mean, think about it. This first phase has happened. I mean, look at all these memory stocks. Look at any of the memory stock charts. It's absolutely insane. You have SanDisk going from $30 a share to over $2,100 in under a year. I mean, that is just absolutely insane. So obviously all these stocks exploded, but now the second phase is here and it's much harder. People want to see the results. People want to see the profits. Where is what is AI actually generating? You know, how much revenue is this thing producing? Because it's not here right now. So what's happening? Well, what's happening is that the stock prices of the MAG7 are falling. They're correcting. Prior to this, I think everything was just priced in, to be honest. The AI boom is here, and we're kind of seeing a gradual fall until at least maybe even a couple years, until I think all of these MAG7 stocks can start showing to the public what, you know, the benefits of the AI, right? For right now, I feel like all of them are in this awkward investing stage where they're not really making the profits that they need to be, right? That they're expected to make, because they're just spending so heavily on AI. And I think that's all of the reasons that I've talked about so far is why the MAG7 is just kind of called right now the Bag 7, because you're probably going to be stuck bag holding it for a while, right? Now, these companies are not going anywhere, right? I still think they are the kings. I still think they are coming down in valuation, right? And it's coming down into prices that I would love to buy. I'm currently adding on these positions. So I think it's just a great opportunity for the longer term investors out there. I think the businesses are strong. The revenue is strong. All of these companies keep going up in revenue. There's really no slow, right? All the profits are still there. I think we're just pretty much correcting. The market is kind of essentially pricing everything in, and so far the AI boom and the memories and semis are kind of taking the light from the MAG7. So do you think this is a start of a long-term decline? Will the AI bubble pop? Let me know in the comments. Let's have a civilized discussions. I will see you all in another video. Bye-bye.